June Kim stood at the large window of Harmony Station, looking at the orange-red light of Proxima Centauri. The space station was humanity's first major diplomatic home among the stars. Even after a month here, June still found the view amazing. Diplomat. Kim, your meeting with the Jarek ambassador starts in 10 minutes, said the station's AI. Thank you, June replied, straightening his blue uniform. He had joined the Interstellar Diplomatic Corps just 6 months ago. Being posted to Harmony Station was a big honor for someone so new. June walked through the curved hallway toward the meeting rooms. People from Earth moved past him along with the occasional alien visitor. 6 alien species now had regular talks with humans. They all looked very different from each other. The tall, thin Vex with their 4 arms, the short, round Polani who changed colors with their moods, the reptile-like Jarek with scales and tall head crests. In the elevator, Joan checked his tablet one more time. This was his 3rd meeting with Ambassador Zoltek of the Jarek. The first 2 meetings had gone well, but something felt odd. June couldn't put his finger on it. The meeting room had a round table with chairs made to fit different body shapes. Ambassador Zoltek was already there, his green scales shining under the lights. His head crest was a bright red today, a sign of formal respect in Jarek culture. Ambassador Zoltek, thank you for meeting with me again, June said with a small bow. Diplomat Kim, the pleasure is mine, Zoltek replied in a deep voice. His translator device made his words clear in English. Please, sit. They began talking about trade routes near the Proxima system. June kept notes as they spoke, but part of his mind was trying to figure out what seemed strange about their meetings. Then he noticed it. Every time they made eye contact, Zoltek would look away after a few seconds. At first, June thought it might be a Jarek custom, but he had read all the cultural briefings. Nothing mentioned avoiding eye contact. For the next few minutes, June tested his theory. Each time he looked directly at Zoltek's large yellow eyes, the ambassador would maintain the gaze for about 10 seconds, then look down at his notes or over at the wall display. 8 seconds, 9 seconds, 10 seconds. Look away. It happened every single time. I believe we've made good progress today, Zoltek said after they finished the main talking points. The trade agreement should benefit both our peoples. I agree, June said, looking directly into Zoltek's eyes again. 1, 2, 3. By 9, the ambassador's head crest twitched slightly. At exactly 10 seconds, Zoltek broke eye contact. Is something troubling you, Ambassador? June asked. Not at all, Zoltek replied quickly. Too quickly. I should return to my quarters. Until our next meeting, Diplomat Kim. After Zoltek left, June sat thinking. Was he imagining things? He needed to talk to someone. 10 seconds exactly? Daypark asked, raising an eyebrow. They sat in the station's dining area, far from other tables. Yes, every time, June said. And when I tried to hold it longer, he seemed uncomfortable. Day was a xenobiologist, a scientist who studied alien biology. He was also June's friend from university days. If anyone would know what this meant, it would be Day. That's strange, Da said, stirring his coffee. But, you know what's stranger? I noticed something similar with the Polani researcher I'm working with. I thought it was just him being shy. So it's not just the Jarek, June muttered. We need more data, Dai said. The diplomatic reception tonight, that's perfect. Lots of different aliens in one place. June nodded. I'll watch for it. You do the same. The reception hall was the largest room on Harmony Station. Tonight it was filled with humans and aliens from all 6 species. Soft music played as servers carried drinks and small foods designed for different biologies. June moved through the crowd, talking with various diplomats. With each alien he met, he tested his theory. He would make eye contact, count silently, and watch 8 seconds with a Vex trade minister before she looked at her drink. 10 seconds with a Polani scientist before he turned to greet someone else, 9 seconds with a furry Moralty before she blinked her 6 eyes and looked away. Every single alien broke eye contact between 8 and 12 seconds. Never longer. Across the room, June could see Day having similar conversations. Their eyes met, and Day gave a small nod. He was seeing the same pattern. As the night went on, June spotted Ambassador Zoltek speaking with a group of Jarek officials. When they finished, June approached him. "Ambassador? I hope you're enjoying the reception," June said. "Yes, very much," Zoltek replied. His head crest was now a calm blue color. "I wanted to ask your opinion on the new communication system being installed next month," June said. As he spoke, he maintained direct eye contact. 1 second, 2 seconds, 3. Zoltek's crest began to shift color, turning slightly purple around the edges. 7 seconds, 8 seconds, 9. The ambassador's breathing changed, his eyes widened slightly. 10. Zoltek suddenly looked down. "Excuse me, Diplomat Kim, but I see someone I must speak with urgently." He moved away quickly, almost bumping into a server. June watched as Zoltek went straight to another Jarek. They spoke in low voices, looking back at June once. Then they left the reception together. Soon after, June noticed all the other Jarek were leaving too. "Something's wrong," Dai said, appearing at June's side. "The Polani delegates are leaving as well. Did something happen?" "I don't know," June said. "I was just talking to Zoltek and—" He stopped as he noticed more aliens heading for the exits. Within 5 minutes, almost every non-human had left. The reception. "This isn't a coincidence," Day whispered. "It's like they're running away from us." June felt a chill run down his spine. "Not from us. From our eyes." Later that night, as most of the station slept, a meeting took place in a secure room. No humans were present. Representatives from all 6 alien species sat around a table, their faces grave. "It's getting worse," Ambassador Zoltek said. "The humans are starting to notice the pattern." "The 10-second protocol is failing," said a Polani minister, her skin turning a worried gray. "We must decide what to do before they discover the truth," said the Vex representative. "Before they learn what happens when they look into our eyes for too long. And before they realize what they can do to us when they do," added Zoltek, his voice barely a whisper. The aliens looked at each other in silence, fear clear on their very different faces. Outside the room, the stars of Proxima Centauri cast a red glow on the sleeping station, while somewhere in his quarters, June Kim dreamed of eyes that couldn't look away. Something is happening, and they don't want us to know about it," June said. 3 days had passed since the reception. June sat in a small meeting room with Day and 2 other humans. They had chosen this room because it had no cameras or listening devices. "I agree," said Jin Kang, a military attaché with short black hair and serious eyes. "This isn't random behavior." The 4th person at the table was Hana Lee, a psychologist who studied how different species communicated without words. She was quiet, watching the others with careful eyes. "What do we know for sure?" Day asked, tapping on his tablet. "Every alien species breaks eye contact with humans after about 10 seconds, June said. "Never longer." Jin nodded. "I've noticed the same thing during security meetings. At first, I thought it was just their way of showing respect. It's more than that," Day said. "I checked the medical scans from my lab work with the Polani researcher. His heart rate increased during eye contact with me. His skin changed color in a pattern that suggests stress." Hana spoke for the first time. "I've been studying alien body language for 5 years. This eye contact pattern is consistent across all species we've met. It's like they're following a rule." "But why?" June asked. "What happens after 10 seconds that scares them?" "That's what we need to find out," Jin said. "But carefully. If they've kept this secret from us, they won't be happy if we start asking direct questions." We need permission to study this properly, Hana said. I know someone who can help. Director Yoon's office had a view of the entire station. He was an older man with gray hair and a serious face. He listened without interrupting as the four explained what they had noticed. You believe all 6 alien species are hiding something about eye contact with humans? He asked when they finished. Yes, sir, June said. The pattern is too consistent to be a coincidence. Director Yoon was quiet for a moment. This could affect our diplomatic relationships. If we push too hard, we might damage the trust we've built. But if they're hiding something important about humans, don't we have a right to know? Day asked. The director looked out at the stars. Yes, we do. But we must be careful. He turned back to them. I'm approving your project. Dr. Lee will lead a study on nonverbal communication between species. That will be your official reason for gathering data. Thank you, sir, Hana said. Be discreet, Director Yoon warned. If the aliens realize what you're really studying, they might stop cooperating entirely. Over the next 2 weeks, the team collected data in different ways. Hana ran tests in her lab, asking human and alien volunteers to have conversations while sensors measured their bodies. Jin checked military records for any mentions of strange behavior during eye contact. Day analyzed biological readings. June reviewed years of first contact records looking for patterns. They met again in the same small room, their faces showing excitement and worry. The data is clear, Hana said. All alien subjects show the same responses during eye contact with humans. After 7 to 8 seconds, their stress hormones increase. At 10 seconds, their brains show patterns similar to fear. The military. Records show something interesting, Jin added. During the first contact with the Vex 15 years ago, their soldiers would not look at human soldiers directly. They trained their eyes just past our shoulders. I found something in the Jarek. Medical scans, Day said. When they make eye contact with us, there's unusual activity in their frontal brain regions. It's like their brains are fighting against something. And I discovered this, June said, showing a video on his tablet. It showed the very first meeting between humans and the Polani species. The Polani ambassador looked into the human ambassador's eyes, then suddenly stepped back, blinking rapidly. After that, he never looked at the human's eyes for more than a few seconds. They discovered something about us during first contact, June said. Something that scared them enough to create rules about looking at us. But what could it be? Jin asked. What's so special about human eyes? I might have an answer, Day said. He looked nervous. I wasn't sure at first, but now... He picked up his tablet and showed them a scan. This is a reading of the electromagnetic field around a human eye during eye contact with an alien. And this, he showed another scan, is the alien's neural response. They all leaned forward to look. Humans emit a unique frequency through their eyes, Day explained. It's too subtle for our instruments to detect until now. But aliens can sense it, and it affects their brains. Are you saying we're doing something to them when we look at them? June asked, shocked. I think so, Day said. But I don't know what exactly. The effect builds over time. That's why they break contact at 10 seconds. That's when it becomes too strong for them to ignore. Why didn't they tell us? Jin wondered. Maybe they're afraid of how we would react, Hana suggested. Or maybe they're afraid of what we might do if we knew. We need more information, June said. But how do we get it without revealing what we know? The door opened suddenly. They all turned, startled. A tall, thin man with gray hair stood there. You don't, he said, because they're watching you now. Who are you? Jin demanded, standing up. My name is Sung Ho. I've been a diplomat for 30 years. The man closed the door and locked it. And I've been investigating the same thing you are for much longer. They know you're getting close to the truth. What truth? June asked. Sung Ho looked at each of them, his face serious. The truth about what humans can do with their eyes. The ability that no other species in the galaxy has, An ability we don't even know we have. What ability? Day asked. Mind influence, Sung-Ho said simply. When we make direct eye contact with another sentient species for more than 10 seconds, we begin to affect their thoughts. The room was completely silent as they all stared at him. That's impossible, Jin finally said. Is it? Sung-Ho asked. Haven't humans always talked about the power of the human gaze? The way we can stare down animals? How eye contact creates trust or dominance? We thought it was just psychology. It's not. You're saying humans have some kind of mind control? Hana asked, her voice skeptical. Not control. Influence. Subtle but real. Sung-Ho sat down heavily. The aliens discovered it during first contact situations. They felt their thoughts shifting slightly when humans maintained eye contact, so they created the 10-second rule. Break eye contact before the human influence can take hold. If this is true, why hasn't anyone discovered it before? Day asked. Because the effect doesn't work on other humans, Sung-Ho explained. We evolved together, developed immunity to each other. We only affect other species. The team looked at each other, trying to process this information. How do you know all this? June asked. Sung-Ho's eyes were sad, because 20 years ago I accidentally discovered it. I was having an argument with a Moralty diplomat. I was angry, staring at him, telling him he was wrong. After about 15 seconds, he suddenly agreed with me, completely changed his mind. Later, he accused me of eye-forcing him. That's when I started investigating. If humans can influence alien minds, Jin said slowly, that would explain why they're so careful around us, why they created rules about eye contact, and why they kept it secret, June added. They're afraid of us. Before anyone could respond, the station alarm began to sound. Red lights flashed in the corridor outside. What's happening? Hana asked. Jin checked his security tablet. His face went pale. 3 alien ships just arrived. They're demanding to speak with station leadership. They say it's about a human violation of the Psychic Non-Interference Treaty. A treaty we never knew existed, Sung-Ho said quietly. Until now. The main meeting room of Harmony Station was filled with tension. On one side of the large table sat the human representatives, Director Yoon, June, Day, Hana, Jin, and Sung-Ho. On the other side sat representatives from all 6 alien species. Ambassador Zoltek of the Jarek was in the center. We understand you have concerns, Director Yoon said carefully. The red alert had been canceled, but the alien ships still surrounded the station. Ambassador Zoltek's head crest was dark purple, a color June had never seen before. Concerns? You have broken the most important treaty between our species, a treaty your leaders signed 50 years ago. There seems to be some confusion, Director Yoon replied. We have no record of a psychic non-interference treaty. A murmur ran through the alien delegates. They looked at each other with expressions that seemed like disbelief. That is not possible, said a tall Vex with silver skin. The treaty was the first agreement made after we discovered the human eye influence ability. We were never told about this treaty or this ability, Director Yoon said. If our people signed it, that information was not shared with most humans. The room grew quiet. June looked at the aliens closely, being careful not to make direct eye contact for too long. They seemed genuinely shocked. Finally, an elderly alien with pale blue skin and 4 eyes stood up. Unlike the others, he wore no uniform or official clothes. My name is Counselor Vrith, he said in a thin voice. I am the oldest member of the Galactic Science Council. I was present when we first discovered what humans can do. He looked at the other aliens. They do not know. Their leaders kept it from them. Kept what from us? June asked, unable to stay quiet any longer. Counselor Vrith turned to the humans. The truth that your species possesses a unique neural pattern that creates what we call psychic bleed, a form of mild telepathic suggestion that works through eye contact. The human side of the table was silent, processing this information. When your species first made contact with the Polani 50 years ago, Vrith continued, we discovered that prolonged eye contact with humans caused our thoughts to align with yours. It was subtle, but unmistakable. We thought it was deliberate, Ambassador Zoltek added, an attempt to control us. But we soon realized you were unaware of your ability, Vrith said. Your leaders were horrified when we told them. They feared how other humans might react if they knew. Together, we created the treaty and the 10-second protocol. And kept the truth from Earth's people, Sung Ho said bitterly. They thought we couldn't handle knowing. But why are you here now? Director Yoon asked. What violation has occurred? A screen on the wall lit up, showing a recording from the reception a few weeks earlier. It showed June maintaining eye contact with Ambassador Zoltek beyond the 10-second limit. Diplomat Kim deliberately tested the time limit, Zoltek said. And now your team has been investigating the protocol. You are too close to the truth. Some on the Galactic Council believe humans are preparing to use their ability as a weapon. That's ridiculous, Jin said forcefully. We didn't even know we had this ability until recently. Perhaps, said Zoltek. But now that you know, what will you do with this power? The question hung in the air. June looked at his teammates, then at the aliens across the table. He could see fear in their very different eyes. We need to speak privately, Director Yoon said. In a smaller room, the human team debated what to do. This changes everything we thought we knew about human biology, Day said. We evolved this ability on Earth, probably as a hunting advantage, but never knew it because it doesn't affect other humans. The real problem is trust, Sung Ho said. They've been hiding this from humanity for 50 years. Our own leaders lied to us. But the aliens are genuinely afraid, Hana pointed out. I can see it in their body language. They believe we could control their minds if we wanted to. We need to show them we can be trusted with this knowledge, June said. That humans won't use this ability to manipulate them. But can we promise that? Jin asked. If all humans learned they could influence alien thoughts, some would certainly try to use it. The door opened, and a woman in a military uniform entered. Admiral Hyun was the highest-ranking military officer on the station. Her face was stern, the Ha. Situation has escalated, she said without greeting. Earth Command has been informed. They're treating this as a first-class security issue. What does that mean? June asked. It means they see strategic value in this ability, Admiral Hyun replied. They're sending a military science team to study it further. So they want to weaponize it, Sung Ho said, his voice hard. They want to understand it, the Admiral corrected, and ensure other species can't use it against us. This is exactly what the aliens fear, Hana said. If we treat this as a weapon, we'll never have real trust between our species. Before anyone could respond, June's tablet beeped with a message. Counselor Vrith wants to meet with me, he said, surprised. Alone. It could be a trap, Jin warned. I don't think so, June said. He seemed different from the others. More understanding. Be careful, Director Yoon said after a moment, and report back immediately. Counselor Vrith was waiting in a small garden area of the station. Real plants from different worlds grew here. The old alien sat on a bench, looking at a blue flower from his homeworld. Thank you for coming, Diplomat Kim, he said as June approached. You wanted to speak with me? June sat across from him, careful to keep his eyes slightly averted. You can look at me, Vrith said gently. I am old enough not to fear your gift. He sighed. That's what it is, you know. A gift, not a weapon. Then why keep it secret from us? June asked. Fear. Always fear. Vrith's 4 eyes blinked slowly. Your leaders feared panic if humans learned they could influence other minds. Our leaders feared what humans might do with such power. So we created the 10-second protocol and the treaty. And now? Now the truth is coming out, and we must decide what to do about it. Vrith leaned forward. The Galactic Council is divided. Some want to cut off all contact with humans. Others want to force all humans to wear special eye covers in the presence of other species. That's not right, June said, feeling anger rise. We didn't ask for this ability. No, but you have it. Vrith looked at him steadily. What humans don't understand is how deep this ability goes. The 10-second limit is just the beginning. With practice, some humans could do much more. June felt a chill. What do you mean? There are legends among the stars, Diplomat Kim. Ancient. Stories of beings who could walk through the minds of others with just a look. The Eyewalkers, they were called. Vrith's voice had dropped to almost a whisper. Some believe humans are their descendants. Before June could ask more questions, his tablet beeped urgently. It was Jin. June, get back here now. Jin's voice was tense. Admiral Hyun has ordered the research to be classified. 3 military ships are on their way from Earth, and the alien vessels are powering up their weapons. June looked at Vrith, who had heard everything. The old alien's face was sad. It begins, Vrith said softly. The very conflict we hoped to avoid for so long. We have to stop this, June said, standing up. There has to be a way. Perhaps there is, Vrith said. But it will require truth, complete truth, from all sides. As June hurried back to the meeting room, red alert lights began flashing throughout the station once more. Harmony Station was on full alert. Red lights flashed in every corridor. Through the large windows, June could see the alien ships with their weapons ready. The station's shields were up, but they wouldn't last long against a serious attack. Back. In the main meeting room, both sides were arguing loudly. This ability is a natural trait of humans, Director Yoon was saying. We cannot change what we are. But you can control how you use it, Ambassador Zoltek replied. The 10-second protocol exists for everyone's safety. Admiral Hyun stood with her arms crossed. The Galactic Council has hidden vital information about human biology from us for decades. That ends now. As the arguments continued, June felt something strange, a feeling that they were missing something important. He caught Hana's eye across the room and saw she felt it too. Dr. Lee, he said quietly, you've been studying alien psychology for years. What are we not seeing here? Hana came closer. Fear, she whispered. Not just caution, deep fear. Look at their body language. The way Zoltek's crest keeps changing colors. The way the Vex won't stop moving their hands. They're terrified of us. But why? June asked. Our ability is mild. Vrith said it only creates subtle influence. I don't think that's the whole truth, Hana said. Either he didn't tell you everything, or our own leaders are hiding more from us, June finished. The door to the meeting room slid open. A small girl walked in, followed by a worried-looking woman. The girl was about 9 years old, with dark eyes that looked too serious for her age. Subin, the woman called. You can't be in here. Everyone turned to look at the child. Who is this? Admiral Hyun demanded. My daughter, the woman said, embarrassed. I'm Dr. Park from the education section. She ran away from me. I'm sorry. Subin ignored the adults and walked straight to Ambassador Zoltek. Before anyone could stop her, she looked directly into his yellow eyes. You don't have to be afraid, she said in a clear voice. I won't hurt you. The room went completely silent. Zoltek stared at the child, frozen in place. Seconds passed. 10 seconds. 20 seconds. The ambassador didn't look away. Subin, come here, her mother said nervously. But Subin kept looking at Zoltek. They told you we can control minds, she said. But that's not what we do. We just connect. Zoltek's head crest had turned a deep blue color. How are you doing this? He asked, his voice strangely calm. I'm not doing anything, Subin said. I'm just letting you see. After almost a minute of eye contact, Subin turned away. She looked tired, but smiled at her mother. It's okay. He understands now. As her mother led her from the room, everyone stared at Zoltek. The ambassador blinked several times, then looked at the other aliens. The child, he said slowly. She showed me. It's not control, it's connection. We've been wrong all this time. Counselor Vrith stepped forward. What did you see, Ambassador? I saw memories, feelings, understanding. Zoltek seemed to be struggling with words. The human mind doesn't force its thoughts on others, it shares. That's impossible, the Vex delegate said. The research showed mind influence. Research based on fear, Hana said suddenly. You expected to find control, so that's what you saw. She turned to the humans. And our leaders accepted your interpretation without question. The child has a much stronger ability than most adults, Vrith said quietly. Some humans are born with greater gifts. This is what the Galactic Council truly fears. Not what humans are now, but what they might become. A new voice spoke from the doorway. Which is why we need to work together, not against each other. President Tay, the leader of the Earth Alliance, stood there. She was a small woman with gray hair and a calm face. Behind her were several officials and security guards. Madam President, Admiral Hyun said, surprised. We weren't told you were coming. This situation required my personal attention, President Tay said. She looked at both sides of the room. I've been briefed on what's happening here. It seems we have much to discuss. Honestly, this time, 3 days later, June stood in the observation deck, watching ships come and go from the station. The crisis had been avoided, but much remained uncertain. Deep in thought? A voice asked. It was Day. Just thinking about everything we've learned, June replied. That humans have this ability we never knew about, that it's growing stronger in children like Subin. The tests show she can maintain mental connection for over 5 minutes, Day said, much longer than any adult, and she doesn't just influence, she creates true two-way communication. Evolution at work, June said. But what does it mean for our future? That's what they're discussing now. In the main conference room, President Tay was meeting with the Grand Arbiter, a massive alien from a neutral species who had arrived to help negotiate. They had been talking for hours. I wish I knew what they were deciding, June said. We'll find out soon enough, Day replied. But whatever happens, things will never be the same. The station's largest gathering space was filled with humans and aliens. President Tay stood on a raised platform with the Grand Arbiter and representatives from all species. After much discussion, she announced, we have reached an agreement about the path forward. The room was completely silent. First, the truth will be shared with all humans. No more secrets about our own biology. Murmurs ran through the crowd. Second, humans will wear special contact lenses during official interactions with other species. These lenses, developed by Dr. Lee and her team, filter the neural frequencies that cause the psychic bleed effect. June looked at Hana, who nodded, proudly. Third, we will establish a training program to help humans understand and control their ability. Special emphasis will be placed on children who show stronger connections. President Tay continued, and finally humans will join the Galactic Council as full members, with all the rights and responsibilities that entails. We will share our research on the eye connection ability for the benefit of all species. Fo, Grand Arbiter, stepped forward. This marks a new beginning in our shared history. Fear replaced by understanding. Secrets replaced by truth. After the announcement, June found Ambassador Zoltek waiting for him near the exit. Diplomat Kim. The ambassador said, "I believe we have a meeting scheduled tomorrow about the trade routes." "Yes, we do," June replied. "I'm looking forward to it." Zoltek touched a small case in his pocket. "These new lenses Dr. Lee created work quite well. They allow us to hold eye contact without complications." "It's strange to think my eyes were doing something I never knew about," June said. "Perhaps it's not about what your eyes do," Zoltek said thoughtfully, "but about what they allow others to see." Later that night, on a distant planet covered in ancient forests, 3 tall figures stood around a pool of glowing water. They were unlike any species known to the Galactic Council. Their skin shimmered with patterns of light, and their eyes held galaxies. "The humans have discovered their gift," one said, watching images form in the water. "Images of June, Subin, and Harmony Station." "But not their purpose," another replied. "They will in time," said the third. "The Eyewalkers have awakened once more, and soon they will look to the stars and truly see." The pool showed one final image. A child looking up at the night sky, her eyes reflecting the stars in ways no ordinary humans could. The figures faded into the darkness, leaving only the echo of words spoken across time and space. "Look into their eyes and you will see the future."